What is native-like fluency? What do I mean when I say this word combination over and over again in every post? Let's define it. I would like to send a message to those people who are following my work and those people who are new here. I am not a native speaker, but what I teach is a system of exercises that can get you to native-like fluency. I will never become a native speaker, and I am very well aware of that. I had to be born in an English-speaking country to be called a native speaker. I am a native speaker of Russian. I will never become a native speaker of a different language. But I know for a fact that achieving native-like fluency is a very feasible task. When I say the word combination native-like fluency, I mean 3 things, and I would like to explain them to you in this video. You can call them criteria, parameters, rules, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Number 1, the content on this page is for advanced level students who are ready to use the target language to learn more about the target language. That's rule number 1. You do not translate every word or every sentence or every idiom or every phrasal verb into your first language. You should use the target language to learn more about the target language. Then the system will work for you. In case your English skills are not that strong yet, let's say you need every word to be translated, you need to translate every sentence so that you can make sense of the information. Let's say you're working with a private tutor or you're taking classes in a language school and they define your level as pre-intermediate. Then the system of exercises will not work for you as you see it. All the exercises will need to be adapted. You can adapt every exercise to meet your needs, but you will need someone's help to do that. I create my content for those people who need to set their bar higher. So the first thing that I want to make very clear is that native-like fluency is a system of exercises for advanced level students who want to move on, who want to continue practicing, who want to continue improving their English communication skills. Native-like fluency is not a level. We're talking beyond academic levels here. The second thing that I wanted to explain about native-like fluency, at least that's my approach to learning, is that at some point you become good enough and you stop needing one teacher. At some point you understand that you don't need private classes anymore. You don't need to go to school anymore. You just need to keep practicing to get better at that skill. You already know enough, and working with one person is actually limiting you. It's not enriching you in any way. It's not expanding your opportunities. It's limiting. As soon as you realize that you can use the target language to learn more about the target language, you realize that you can learn from everybody, from many people. When I say everybody, many people, I mean native speakers. I don't mean every single native speaker, because you want to be very selective. I want to learn from educated native speakers. I want to learn from people I respect. I want to learn from people whose ideas resonate with me. But these are so many people. You don't have to stick with one teacher for the rest of your life. You don't have to commit to English lessons twice a week for the rest of your life. You can become very creative and you can learn from many people. So if you're looking for one teacher, I'm not that teacher, okay? I do not sell private English classes here. I want to show people that they have more power than they think, that everybody can learn to create a deliberate, sustainable, well-structured and creative practice routine for themselves to continue moving forward. You don't need one teacher, one authority at this point, but you need a lot of people that you can practice with. That's important. A lot of other people who you can trust, a lot of other people who you can share your experiences with, a lot of other people who can help you and you can help them. It's a healthy exchange, but you're not dependent on one teacher anymore. You're not dependent on one person's opinion. And you honestly, you feel it when you you genuinely stop seeking one person who can teach you everything. That's when you're ready for the system of exercises to get you to native-like fluency. The third thing that I wanted to explain about native-like fluency is that it is not a finite process, and there is no definitive goal somewhere there at the end of the journey. No. No. If you learn English with a so that mentality, if your entire English practice is a so that, meaning you agree to commit to that 6-week intensive course so that 6 weeks later you can finally stop and do nothing and never look at those textbooks again. If you're ready to suffer so that one day you become absolutely free from anxiety when you have to speak in English, so that one day you feel totally confident and pain-free, it's a lie. You're telling yourself the wrong story. You're telling yourself the story that is not true. There is no end point when you don't have to do anything because you've achieved everything. I have to practice harder. I have to practice harder so that one day I will not need to practice at all. Here on this page, I talk about infinite learning and continuous practice. This is why I am teaching students to measure their progress when they work on their English fluency. And the first thing we learn to measure, is the level of joy. You have to pay attention to joy. How much joy does it bring me? Because if you don't, there is no actual appreciation of the now. You do everything so that you don't have to do it again in the future. But if you look at joy, your current state of joy, and you start paying attention to the things that are important right now, you start appreciating the now. And what happens is that you start genuinely appreciating the beauty of the language. But to be honest, native-like fluency is not really about the language. People who made a decision to continuously practice their English confidence and their fluency in a foreign language are investing in their cognitive abilities. They're investing in their own meta skills. They're investing in their own ability to learn. They're not really focusing on the language as a discipline. They don't need an academic degree. They don't need to write a thesis about English. Every day, they're learning about themselves when they end up in situations where they need to use English. There are multiple opportunities to practice every single day, but when your entire practice is a so that, you don't see those opportunities. You're waiting for the next English class, so that your teacher tells you what to do and what to practice, so that other people can evaluate your skills. What we're doing here is very different. We are learning to self-evaluate. We're learning to self-regulate our learning process. We're learning to self-reflect. We're learning to self-correct. And this is why it's so different from any other language learning system that I know. To wrap it up, here are the 3 things that are embedded in the system of exercises that you can learn to get to native-like fluency. Number 1, the system is designed for advanced level students who need to move on. You need to possess strong English skills to get started here. And you need to want to achieve more and to learn more and to speak better and to get more fluent. This burning desire to improve is crucial. This is where it all begins. How can you self-test? Are my English skills strong enough? Are they good enough? First of all, you can ask yourself the question, do I understand every word of what I'm hearing right now? If the answer is yes, probably your English skills are enough. You can also go to my website and enjoy the free interactive video challenges. There are free exercises for anyone who wants to practice and to see for themselves if the system will work for them. There are also enough free exercises in almost every YouTube video that I make. There are free exercises in my Instagram feed. There are free exercises in the Instagram highlighted stories. There are free exercises in the community of practice, and there are a lot of exercises, creative exercises for the community members. You need to become a member to access them. There are many opportunities. Number 2, it's important that you get to that point yourself where you stop needing one teacher and you stop seeking one authority. Native like fluency means we can learn and we want to learn from many people instead of listening to every word that one teacher says and then, oh, but my teacher said so. Ideally, you want to become your own teacher. One of the most important skills that we're developing here is the ability to check in with the source, the ability to filter information and to ask yourself this question: have I heard native speakers say so? That's the question I ask myself every single day, especially when I write. Is this English, or is this something that I think people say in English? And number 3 is that there is no finite goal, and it's not a finite process. I am creating my content to show how everybody, if they want to do so, can create a deliberate, sustainable, well-structured, and a creative practice routine to help themselves continuously improve their communication skills in English and their fluency. And when I say fluency, I mean reading fluency, speaking fluency, writing fluency, and listening fluency, and thinking fluency. We're working on developing our cognitive abilities in a foreign language. How do you learn a foreign language so that you don't simply memorize more grammar rules and acquire more vocabulary, but so that you actually start thinking in that language so that you can develop your cognitive abilities in a foreign language? Well, that's the question I ask myself every single day. And the second question I ask myself is, how do you teach that? How should we teach a foreign language so that students, first of all, gain confidence in their ability to learn it and improve it and develop it, and so that students can see the results of developing their cognitive abilities in English? I hope that makes sense. And if you have any questions about native like fluency, about the approach, about the methodology, about the exercises, feel free to ask them in the comments. And I'll speak to you soon.